everyone, this is Svetlana with a new video for Altenew. In this video I will show you how to create a colorful starry Christmas tree on a dark background. I apologize for the sounds of New York City you can hear in the background from time to time. There is no time when it's quiet in this city. I will be working with the Starry Night stamp set. It's a new set from the recent September 2018 Altenew release. It has a very beautiful and elegant starry tree, a starry border or corner. In this set you can find 3 standalone stars of different styles and sizes, and a small star cluster. Also, this set is packed with several festive sentiments. As usual, the packaging insert has several examples of how this set can be used. This video is a part of the Stamp Focus blog post for this set on the Altenew blog. The blog post is linked in the video description, and you can find 2 other cards made with this set there. As I mentioned, I will be using this tree from the set for my card today, and I already made a panel out of solar white cardstock. For stamping, I will be using my Mini Misty stamping tool. Using a stamping tool is somewhat important for this technique, as I will need to stamp twice exactly to the same spot. This stamp has a lot of tiny details, and it can be tricky to stamp it twice without a stamp positioning tool. For stamping, I'm using the Morning Frost dye ink. It's a very light, neutral ink. If you don't have this particular ink, you can use any light ink you have. It won't be visible in the finished project. You just need some light ink on this step. I'm taking the panel out of the Misty, leaving the stamp mounted to its lid. Next, I will cover over the 3 elements using Warm Sunshine, Forest Glades, Ocean Waves, and Ruby Red artist markers. As you can see, I'm doing very sloppy coloring, just to cover the stamped elements. And of course, I don't care about staying within lines, which would be impossible in case of this stamp anyways. After I colored over all 3 elements, or at least I thought that I did, I'm placing the panel back to my Misty. And now I'm closing the lid and looking through the stamp, checking if I really colored over all elements. And where I see the markers coloring is missing, I'm adding it. You can see later that even with this step, I had a couple of spots missed, and I will show how I fixed them. Next, I will be clear embossing this tree. I'm first applying baby powder onto the panel, as I don't want any stray embossing powder particles to stick where I don't want them to be. I'm applying Altenew embossing ink onto the stamp, stamping it, adding clear embossing powder, and heat setting it. And then I made the tree topper using a standalone star from the set, and I made it in the same manner as the tree. On this point, the tree looks rather funny and childish. It will change after the next step, which is inking the whole panel with Jack Black dye ink. As you can see, the clear embossing resists the black ink. Inking is covering markers coloring, and only those spots that are trapped under the clear embossing are visible now. Okay, here you can see that in some areas markers coloring around elements is still visible. If continue to blend the Jack Black ink on top, it will cover the coloring completely. But I thought that this looks like this shining that usually surrounds color Christmas lights, so I decided to stop in blending on this point. When I was coloring the elements of the tree, I did miss several, so I'm fixing them by slightly coloring with corresponding artist markers on top. These markers are alcohol based and work on non-porous surfaces as well. I trimmed the panel a half an inch smaller than an A2 card and adhered it onto an A2 card base. When I work with a dark background, I like placing it onto a white card base with such white margin. It tones down the boldness of the background a bit, and also if I want to add some white elements onto a card, the white margin around the panel balances off the white elements. Like in this case, I popped a sentiment onto the card, stamped using crimson dye ink onto a white cardstock strip. I hope you like this technique and will give it a try. Thank you for stopping by today. Bye!